Hey, what's happening out there? My name is Haydn Adams with Nautilus Designs and Training. And in this example, I want to show you how to create a logo with some customized typography in Adobe Illustrator and then apply it to your photography in Adobe Photoshop. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, let's start off in Adobe Illustrator CC. I'm in version 2019. Now, all these tools and techniques work back to like the CS5, maybe even the CS4 days. So pretty much if you have Illustrator from the past maybe 10 years, this is gonna work fine. But because I have the Creative Suite, I'm updating my software as much as possible. So do note that I am working in Adobe Illustrator CC 2019. Okay, let's create a new document. File New or Command N/Control N, and it doesn't matter too much when it comes to width and height. I'm just going to keep it horizontal, so I'm going to have 11 inches by 8.5 inches. We'll change this down the road, but let's just create a new document. If you also noticed, I didn't set any pixels because in Illustrator, it is a vector-based tool, which means pixels really don't exist. So what I want to do is I want to type my name. Let's create a little logo and say Haydn Adams, that's me, photography. Now, no, I got it. Thank you, toolbar. If I drag this by holding the shift key down, I can make it bigger or smaller. Once again, I'm not too worried about the size of it here because I can always change it in Adobe Photoshop. Now, if you're working towards photography, you might want more of a script type going on here. Now, by default, there aren't many script fonts to choose from. There's a few in here, but there's not that many. No, I'm not going to use Chalk Duster for any kind of photography-based type. But the great thing is that if you have the Creative Suite package, which I'm imagining you probably do if you have Adobe Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator, Adobe has one of the best type houses out there currently on the market that's essentially free with your Adobe Creative Cloud membership. I'm talking about Adobe Fonts, formerly called Adobe Typekit. Typekit wasn't really well known unless you were using it a lot, but Adobe Fonts makes a lot more sense. So let's find a type that we can use for more of a scripted type for a photography-based logo. If you look on the left-hand side or on Adobe Fonts, now full circle, I am logged in. There's my little cool picture with my tie, and I used to wear glasses. And if I also go up here, it's my same picture. Make sure that you are logged in both with the Creative Cloud application on your computer and also on adobefonts.com, or excuse me, fonts.adobe.com. If you got that both linked up, we're in great shape. So I'm going to search for a script font by clicking script. And what's going to happen is it's going to show me different fonts. Now, to me, this is okay to look at, but since I'm just thinking of one line, I can see how it gets applied to different styles of type. Now, realign equestrian fez bewilders doesn't mean much to me, but let's type in, at least in my case, Haydn Adams photography. So I'm going to say Haydn Adams photography. And I can look through these different styles of type and see if one suits me to what I want to do. So let's say, whoa. There we go. I was like, wait a second. Let's say I want to use Suave Script Pro because any typeface with the name Suave has got to be good. All I have to do is go over here to the right-hand side where it says Activate Fonts. And if I click on it, you have two activated fonts. I'm assuming there's a bold and a not bold. But what's going to happen is this is going to sync to my computer. My other computer screen just showed me that this font was synced. And I can double check it by going up to Adobe and up here in the Assets and Fonts, I can see if I scroll down alphabetical order that Suave Script Pro is active. So I can use this now across all spectrums. Let's go back to Illustrator and actually apply this. All right, I am back in Adobe Illustrator. So what I want to do is I'm going to change this type to Suave Script Pro. I just can't get over saying that because, like I said, anything with the word suave is going to be absolutely fantastic. So I can use either Suave Script Pro or Suave, I can say this right, Suave Script Pro Bold. For the sake of this example, because it's easier to see a bold font versus a regular font, I'm going to use bold. So if I click that, my font is now bold, and I'm just going to hit the little V key, or click on it because I can't hit V, I'm sorry about that. And now I have this photography type. Now eventually what I want to do is I want to lock this type down because I do not want it to move one iota. I want to make this type not editable via the type key. So I'm going to go up to type and say create outlines. This can also be achieved with the shortcut key Command Shift O. So if I hit create outlines, it now has this outline around it. And if I click the A key for the direct selection tool, note now that there are all these anchor points in there, and this is locked down. And this is the result that I want to have a logo. But wait, there's more. I don't need this entire artboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this artboard, or Shift O. We've had a lot of shifts and O's going on here. I'm going to drag this artboard down until it just clicks, like that little pink line shows up. I'm going to move this up, and there we go. Since I need to move this thing up a little higher, I'm going to snap it right to the edge and right here. And then to get rid of that extra bounding box for the artboard, the V key kicks us back into gear. Now this logo is all set to go in Illustrator. So let's save this file. I'm going to go up to File, Save, or Save As. The same thing happens since I have not saved it yet. And here's the thing. I do not want to save it as an Adobe Illustrator file. The magic is Adobe Illustrator EPS. So I'm going to say Haydn, if I can type this, Adams Photography Logo. Once again, I'm working on an EPS file, which is a unique and underutilized file, but it's the gold standard when it comes to logos. I'm going to hit save, and my EPS options, wow, words are escaping my mouth this afternoon. EPS, Illustrator CC EPS is fine. Ignore the TIFF. All these are totally fine. I'm going to say OK, and it's going to save my logo. Now that I have this logo made, let's actually apply it to a photograph in Adobe Photoshop. So in Photoshop, I have this picture I shot while on vacation, and I want to put a little watermark or a little design down here at the bottom that I created, once again the logo, inside of the picture. All I have to do is open the Finder on the Macintosh or on the PC. I'm going to drag this EPS logo into my picture and just let go. Through the magic of Photoshop, it'll show up on the screen. Note that it does show up right here as Haydn Adams Photography Logo. I'm going to hit the Enter key for a second, and note it is pretty small. That's totally fine. I'm going to hit Command T, and the new version of Adobe Photoshop CC 2019 is I do not have to hold down the Shift key to scale this image. So I'm going to scale the image, once again, Command T. I can make it as small or as big as I want. And I'm going to drag it down right about to here. And to lock it in place, I'm going to hit the Enter key. I have an expanded keyboard, so I can hit the Enter key, but if not, the Return key works the same way. And just like magic, this logo, hello picture, come on back here, now gets a little bit of a watermark down towards the bottom. If you want to make it somewhat transparent, You can also apply the transparency by clicking this little down arrow and saying, I want to make it, well, 18%. That way it's kind of watermarked if you want to use it. But then you can apply this over and over and over again to whatever picture you're working on by simply dragging your EPS file, come back here, Mr. Picture, into your picture in Adobe Photoshop, and that's how you can apply a logo from Illustrator to a picture in Adobe Photoshop 2019. So I'm curious, after you've watched this video, did it work for you? Did you get a chance to build a logo for yourself? If so, leave a message in the comments. I'd love to hear this worked out for you. If there's any more questions I can answer, once again, leave a comment. If you loved this video, give it a like. If you don't like it, don't give it a like. And if you want to follow me for more videos, please hit my subscribe button. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.